first business when I was just 15. I came up with this idea of like a social media app, and I didn't know anything about business. So what I had to do is to raise a little bit of money from an investor or an angel or something like that, so I can go to an app development company and then build the app. So I actually got in touch with the co-founder of MYOB, which I didn't know MYOB was that big. And he actually decided to invest in the business. That was just 3 years ago, so I was 15. I just turned 18 last week. And then, so I started building the business, and then at the age of 16, I was reading and I was going to all those conferences about marketing and about building a business, a successful business. And I actually got in touch with the co-founder of Hushching. So it's a Sydney-based startup. That what they do is they connect Australian consumers with brokers instead of going through the bank. So I called up Mandeep, the CEO of Hushching, and I said, let me help you. I don't want any money. I think I can add value and help you growth hack your business. So we did all those tactics and all those growth hacks for the 10 weeks period. And we actually got one of the best growth hacking running. It was a parody. So back then it was December 2015 when The Big Short movie came out. And they spent about $20 to $25 million on advertising. So what we try to do is we try to leverage all the money they spend to really come to Hushching. So we created an Australian version parody, which was, it was really bad that it was funny. And within the first 24 hours, we got like about 50,000 hits, which directed viewers to obviously Hushching, and then we generated $70 million of applications. We then converted 10%, which was $7 million back then. At the age of 17, I started working for a few startups in Sydney, Capital Pitch, Investable, some startups from San Francisco. Actually, lavish life. So the 6th employee of Evernote left Evernote, and she founded her own startup, which I helped to scale as well and launch properly in San Francisco. A few in Las Vegas, Rocketeer, a few in New York City. And since then, we got contacted by Forbes, by Inc. magazine, by Australian Financial Review, by 9 News to just write the story how I started that young and help scale businesses. So that's really a little bit about me. I'm just turned 18 last week. But yeah, I think the most important metric that have been for me in the past 3 years was customer acquisition cost to lifetime value. And I can't stress how important that was enough for us, because by measuring how important lifetime value of each customer, then you know how much to spend on acquiring those users. And most businesses actually get that wrong, because they take the first initial value that they pay you, and then that's how they calculate the ratio, but they don't calculate the referrals that happened, and also the word of mouth that happens, and also the second order values that they keep ordering from you if they're happy with your product. So I think growth hacking is coming up with hundreds of ideas and executing all of them and testing which works and which doesn't. So many founders I've been working in before, they come up with one a week, and then most of them really fail. And then they just stop with growth hacking because it doesn't work. But I think it's about coming up with about hundreds of ideas every single week, executing them and testing them. And if something works, and put your time and put your money into it before going lean before just spending everything on one hack. So that's been really important as well. And I think customer success is very important as well as part of your growth hacking, because it's your most repeatable revenue growth driver. And we actually tested it that 80% of our SaaS companies' revenue is actually generated from word of mouth, right? So if you create the best experience for the customer, then he's going to refer you to other people. And for my service, for example, every single client I've helped brought me another 4 to 5 clients. So by using customer success, you can actually scale it with such a low customer acquisition cost and really high lifetime value. And customer success is just all about making your customer the happiest customer, so that it can even involve, Christmas cards and, building the best experience for customers. And actually Evernote did the same thing when I heard there was a client that was really upset with the product, and they called him and they just tried to help him on the same time. And on the same time, they actually track a flower delivery business that actually delivered flowers to the client's house. And as soon as the guy was knocking on the door, the guy opened and saw flowers coming from Evernote. So it was just this amazing customer success that helped the business grow to over 200 million users. So, and also lifetime value will shoot up when you have good customer success. Why? Simply because if they're happy with you, they're going to spend more money with you and expand, your services, and will obviously bring their friends and family to using you. Many startups don't actually hire customer success reps just because they think it's cost-centric, but it's really not. It's revenue-driven. If you actually test it for a few months, the cost is only 10% of what they can actually generate you in about 6 to 10 months, so it's really important as well. And also the lead generation machine, so that's obviously what growth hacking is about. And what it is, it's about building channels which can build you a repeatable lead generation machine, for example, Facebook, or for example, a tactic that we use over LinkedIn. But the most important thing here is not just focusing on one channel and relying all on one channel, because then you'll be stuffed. Otherwise, just check a few channels and build a lead generation machine based on few channels, so you can put in your marketing in a few places for reliance and repeatable growth. And I think it's been really important for us, because we built a lead generation machine that took us 6 months to build. So it takes a long time, and it's a lot of testing and a lot of variation and all that stuff. But once you get it, even when you sleep, you get leads, right? So I'll give you an example of a lead generation machine. So if you build, for example, a landing page, and you offer a content piece like a white paper or something that is relevant to your product, then you can use Facebook and Twitter and obviously Buffer and all that stuff to really generate you the traffic and then the conversion. And then you can optimize the landing page to increase the conversions and stuff like that. So for us, for example, for Hushching, we launched a video, and then there were influencers contacting us who wanted to post it. I paid them $5 for a post, and that's how we actually got 500K, 52K or 500K hits within like the first 16 or 20 hours. And then we took it down because the banks were in it. And obviously that just got us like so much applications wanting the service, so that I really scaled the product, and they're doing really well now. So yeah, I mean, you have to focus on a few channels. It is okay if each channel is different conversion and different funnels, it is okay, but just focus on a few channels and make sure they're the best for your product, and always test. Everything is measurable, everything is testable. You can always increase your conversion rate on everything you do. And by doing that, you can actually increase, obviously, your revenue and your customer base. The most important thing that I actually saw founders do in the past few months of working with hundreds of people and actually thousands of companies reaching out was that people underestimate the lifetime value of a customer. And I think that, like I said 10 minutes ago, is that lifetime value is not just what they spend with you on day zero. Because if you make the best experience for them and you expand your product, they're going to spend more money with you. It's actually tested. Like if you create a good customer success, they're likely to spend 2x with you in a period of 6 to 12 months, right? And they're actually going to bring you about 3 to 4 to 5 actually clients that would actually want to pay for your service. And we've tested it. That's how important customer success is. And the way to actually measure your lifetime value is by looking at the past 6 to 12 months and really looking at the second order values, how much they spend with you over this 12 months period. Also, how many friends they actually bring that converted, they're actually paying you. And then by doing that, you can actually see your lifetime value of one customer. And then you actually know how much to spend, right? Because if you think your lifetime value is $100, you don't want to spend more than $80 on customer acquisition cost, right? But if actually you test it again with second order values and referrals, then maybe it can be $250 lifetime value, and then you can spend a lot more, right, and generate more leads. So it's really important to actually find your lifetime value that is accurate by using second order values, referrals, how many clients actually bring friends and family to use your product too. And then churn. Churn is a big one with growth hacking as well. So churn rate, I mean, you always want to minimize your churn rate, your customer churn rate, but you want to maximize your revenue net churn rate. And basically what it is your net negative churn rate is the revenue that you get from new customers will basically pay off the customers who leave you, but more, right? So you want to have a negative number. You want to have as little as you can. And again, by customer success, you will just basically spend the second order values with current customers, so you can reduce the ratio of customer acquisition cost to lifetime value. So typically, the startups we've been working with, the best churn rate that we've seen and the benchmark that we're trying to target is about 15% annually. So that's about 2% to a little bit over 2% a month. And that's a good churn rate to target. And about negative churn rate, so you want to have negative 5%. So basically that means that every time you have a new client or every time you have a new customer, you want to make sure that your revenue is growing and not going down because companies already leave you because they churn, right? So I think that's really important too. So how can you actually reduce your churn rate? And we've actually tested a lot of things, and the thing that actually, the solution that we came up with is build automated mechanisms to see when they're about to churn. So we sat down and we said, how can we actually know when someone is about to churn? So we looked at invoices, if they were late due to frustration, if they gave us bad feedback on surveys that we sent out, Net Promoter Score, which is really important for growth hacking. There was also following engagement with your product. So obviously you can test the conversions and how many times they come on using your product. So it's just using all those mechanisms that will alert you before they're about to churn. And it's much easier to fix a customer that is about to churn than after he actually sent you a cancellation letter, right? So that's been really important for us. And I mean, it reduces our churn by about 3% a month once we did it. So that's about 36 annually churn rate. So that's really important as well. So building mechanisms and alerts that will alert you before someone is about to churn and then fixing them. So calling them up, trying to build a product that best suits them and trying to fix the situation they were in. Maybe they've done the wrong thing, maybe you have, but that's customer success. And by implementing such mechanisms, you obviously reduce churn drastically. Now, I'm going to share about two, three growth hacks that we actually ran that were doing phenomenally well for all the clients I've been working with and startups I've been working with, including Hushing. So the first one is SlideShare, right? So what we are trying to do as growth hackers, we're trying to leverage channels that are already doing really well and bring them to our platform, just like we did for the viral video on YouTube. That's how we, used all the marketing they spent on marketing the Big Short movie to bring them to Hushing. And again, it's in the same industry, right? So home loan deals, same crisis. So it was all relevant stuff. So the first one is SlideShare. So create a white paper or an ebook, something that is relevant for your product. And that's actually going to get huge traffic if you do it right. So build an ebook again, a white paper that is relevant. But you want to sell the pain. You don't want to sell your product. You don't want to even mention your product. You just want to give them value. So if you are a supplement business, then you want to create an ebook on how to put your mindset working out. So build a white paper where you solve pain for your clients, and then put it onto SlideShare. Now, get friends and family, refresh, get fake views, maybe 100 to 150 in the first day. Now, what SlideShare do, they actually have SlideShare editors which will see what slides are picking up. And if you get 1 to 150, 150 a day, then they go like, okay, that's a good one for the business category. We're going to put it on the homepage, right? And then we've done this, and we got about 20,000 hits within like the first few days, right? And how we try to leverage it is on the last page, after adding all this value and solving pain, we created a call to action where we directed them to our website. So again, not selling. We didn't say come buy. We said if you want any more, click on this link, right? So we got about 2-3% conversion rate from coming to visit the SlideShare, coming to the last page of the SlideShare and clicking, right? So 3% of 20,000, that was a big number that came in the first few days. No marketing budget, nothing. That got us conversions into leads, then we nurtured them, and we sold them, right? So maybe we spend $10 on getting 5 editors to like make a really nice presentation where you can do it yourself. and then out of that we maybe created a few $1,000s of worth of leads. So that's number one. Second thing is stumble upon. So you want to, again, it's all about content marketing. So you want to create blog posts that really convert and really go viral. So create a blog post, again, solving some customer pain, and then put it on stumble upon. So what stumble upon does is it shows visitors articles that they might be interested in. So the more stumbles you get, in other words, shares, the more people are going to see it. So again, we got friends and family, all the people we worked with. We put on our email signature some call to actions. We did maybe $20 worth of Facebook marketing just so we can get a little bit of clicks to come and share the stumble. And then we got about 120 stumbles within the first few hours, which again, 120 stumbles. Every single stumble gets about 1,000 views. So again, we got about a few thousand visits on our blog post. And again, it's not fake people; it's actually people who are interested in the industries, right? So because StumbleUpon only shows you blogs that are relevant to what you're interested in. So again, that got us an okay amount of conversion rate to actually become leads. And then we nurtured those leads to actually convert them again. So what we believe in is growth hackers, and what I've done for clients is never sell right away. And there's a framework that basically says when people don't know you, they're not just going to buy from you. And then you really have to educate them, solve them pain before they actually come throughout the funnel, and then push them throughout to actually becoming, to love you and to use your product, because you help them, right? With blog posts, with ebooks, with service, with testimonials, with trials, and all that stuff. So it's really, growth hacking is for us, it's all about building a marketing funnel that starts with your traffic sources, which again, that's a lead generation machine, which has to be for a few relying channels and not just one. So doing that, and always optimizing the conversion rate on every single step of the funnel, because again, every single conversion, even if it's 0.5% or 2%, overall it can actually lead to more leads and more money coming in the door. And then after that, the second step of the funnel is really lead magnet. So actually, how to actually convert those visitors that come from StumbleUpon, from SlideShare, how to actually convert them. So, we do swipe file on blogs where we try to convert readers into getting additional blog posts or additional value. And what swipe file is, if you go to a blog post now and then there's no way they're taking you to the next blog, right? So all they do is sign up to this newsletter. That's what they say. And then that gets about 0.05% conversion rate, right? And that's like 1,000 people that come to the website. There's barely any people that will put their email address. So what we've done is, okay, well, we're doing all those blog posts that are actually adding value to our people. How can we actually leverage that and get those visitors to become leads? Then we can nurture them with more blog posts and more ebooks. And then we're pushing them throughout the funnel to actually becoming, engage with the product, rather us than competitors, and then buy from us. So what we did is, as you started reading the blog post, for example, on line 10, we created like a small box where it says, if you like this article, for example, if it was an article about putting your mindset into working out, then if you started reading, you go to line number 10, said, if you're interested in a free workout session with one of our managers, please sign up here. And then it's a clickable call to action, which then if you click on it, a pop-up comes in where you can convert and become a lead by putting your email address or your mobile number. And then what we're doing is we're not just putting content out and producing it, which takes hours. We're actually converting some into leads. And if they're reading about mindset, again, about the business, the workout business, if they're reading about mindset and the one session and all that stuff, those are really hot leads. So when we're getting them into MailChimp, for example, then we have all those leads where we can nurture them and send them an automated email funnel, where we send them again new blog posts or new white papers or maybe deals or maybe testimonials. And then on day 9, we're sending an email to sell something, right? So what we did, as an example, the way we did it is we got all those emails coming from blog posts, about thousands of them coming in just a few weeks' time. And we're doing nothing, right? It was from going from 5 subscribers a week to actually doing that. And then every time we got new subscribers, we put them in one list in MailChimp. There's thousands of them. And then we send them an email on day 3, on day 5, on day 7, and on day 9 we actually sold, right? So on day 3 we send them another ebook. Day 5 we sold them like a white paper. On day 7 we sold them like a free $50 card or something like that, again relevant to the product you're selling. And on day 9 we said that we hope you like the content, we're actually building this product. If you're interested, come and buy. And they actually come and buy it from you if you helped them before. Test it. You already know what you guys are doing now, but if you build that funnel with an automated email funnel, then you'll see how the conversions actually ramp up. And obviously all the big brands in the world like Airbnb and Dropbox are actually doing it right now, because if you search for hotel blogs, then you land on their Airbnb blog page. And again, that's getting awareness for Airbnb, and then that's getting traction. And people renting houses from Airbnb or people leasing houses. So it's basically been that. It's really educating everyone before you sell, and then you nurture them, again, with constant emailing them, but not just selling, right? There's all those spam emails that come and they try to sell you, you never buy it. But it's about educating, it's about showing videos, it's about explaining, and then you sell, and the conversion just ramps up. And we've done it, and the conversion went up to like 20%. So it's been really important as well. And then the last thing was always testing everything on landing pages you build. Like firstly, if you're offering a content piece or if you offer a video or a blog post, always have a separated, dedicated landing page for it, because landing page convert a lot better than normal website. If you tested it, then on the homepage there's a 2% conversion rate to actually become a lead, where on the landing page the conversion rate is about 20 to 60%. So for every 100 people who come to your website to get something, then on your homepage, if you send them to your homepage, then you're getting 2 subscribers. On the landing page, you're getting 20 to 60. Right? And if you're running an email campaign or a Facebook ad, you don't want to spend that much money on on just getting them and then losing them when they come to the website. So always building the landing pages. You can even build it with Instapage. You can build it with lead pages. All those really great tools where you can build them within 20 to 30 minutes a landing page. They charge you $30 a month. You can always add variations, A/B testing, and then see what converts the most. And again, it's about always testing everything. So I'll give you an example of what we tested. So we had a landing page where someone can download an ebook, and that was for another client a few weeks ago. And we had like an image. We had a landing page when people can download ebooks, and then we had a 7% conversion rate, which sucks, by the way. And then we said, okay, how can we increase the conversion rate to about 20%? And then we thought, okay, well, people like data, people like numbers, people like scientific proof. So we added like a small graph on the side with like a scientific proof, like a small graph. Conversion rate went to 27%, right? So 20% extra conversion rate. Again, an extra 100 people coming to your website, then you're converting 20 more people. It's just really important testing everything. Everything is testable in growth hacking. It's not traditional marketing. You're not spending thousands of dollars into marketing. Everything is basically $20 a hack, right? That's what we call it. So I mean, it's been very important to do that as a growth hacker. And again, we don't like traditional marketing where we spend thousands of dollars into ads, and then if something doesn't work out, then totally stuffed. So as growth hacking, we come with hundreds of them every single week, and we test tens of them, maybe 40, 50 every week, and we see which works the best. And by seeing what works the best, then we know, okay, if Stumble Upon actually worked the best, we can actually put more time and money into it. Maybe we'll do a $50 ad marketing, just $50, so we can get the stumbles and get the thing going and then make it viral. So it's all those smart tactics that we've been doing, and that's what I've been doing until now. So I just turned 18 last week, and it's been, so that's what I do. So thank you all for having me. Thank you. And it's been really great to speak here today.